There we go. There we go. I hit it. I hit the mark. You hit the spot. Yeah. Here we go. Boston Mama, good morning. Is it raining up there? Because it's raining down here in Philly. Let me tell you. Kind of Gloomsville, Daddy-o. We had a couple of nice days. We had a couple of nice days that were like summer. And now it's gray and gloomy. But what are you going to do, huh? What are you going to do? Rain, it's so dark. Yeah, I am done. Yeah, yesterday I literally said to my husband, I was like, it's so freaking gloomy. You know? So we'll have to make our own sunshine right here, won't we? Yay. I see Laura Gibbon-Vo has shown up. I see Donner and Blitzen. And Cat Mama, nice to see you. Oh, there we go. You are bringing the sunshine. I will do my best. I will. This was wicked funny. I will share with you guys. Abbott Elementary, nice to see you. Oh, Strength and Peace. Strength and Peace. Here, I want to show you. I thought of you, okay? This is the book that I'm reading on the Beatles. I literally have it at my desk as opposed to my bed, okay? It is called The Beatles Are Hard Days Right. I don't know if you can see that. Who is it? Steve Turner. Pretty interesting. Okay, so this is it. And if you missed that, I'll show you again. But I thought of you when you were asking about it the other day, and I felt bad because I couldn't remember. I don't remember a lot of things. There you go. It's interesting. Yeah. So anywho, damn it. Here, hold on. There we go. I had a dream this morning. There we go. Laura Gibbon-Vo is lucky enough to go take a walk with us. She's bringing the walking the dog. We're walking the dog. I'm glad I'm not walking the dog because it's raining here in PA. I had a dream this morning. That I overslept and missed this. I almost called it a Zoom. TikTok Live. It was kind of funny. I was up in the middle of the night. I say in the middle of the night. It wasn't in the middle of the night. It was actually more between like 3 and 6:30 or something. And for a while there, I couldn't get back to sleep. I'm so glad I fell back to sleep. But I had a dream that I woke up late. So I was so psyched to get up and get onto TikTok on time. So yay! Yay me. So there's something to cheer about. I know it's early. I know this is one of those early TikToks, but it worked into my schedule. And I will say this, I also have a YouTube live scheduled for today, and that's going to be what I call the late one. Now it's late for me is like 8 p.m. But I thought an early morning, that one persona, nice to see you. This may be when folks are getting up for the day, much like I did, 10 minutes ago. This may be when you are just kind of stretching and starting the day and deciding what kind of day you want to have. So you can do it. I remember my husband saying to me years ago, occasionally, like, so how are you feeling? And I was kind of joking about it, but I was like, I haven't decided yet. And I offer to you, sometimes in the morning, that's almost a monkey song. Sometime in the morning. It was on, I was going to say More of the Monkeys with Meet the Beatles, More of the Monkeys, something like that. Leslie loves the 7 a.m. Okay, good to know. Leslie, hopefully you're on the mailing list, the Destination Decluttered mailing list. I haven't even opened up a browser on my computer yet today. I should probably do that right now. So there may be some other 7 o'clocks, and there may be some early TikTok lives. Let me look here. Boopity boop. And for those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Beth, and I am a decluttering life coach. I should at least look at the screen when I introduce myself. That would be rude not to. I'm just looking to see when my other TikTok lives and YouTube lives. Oh, and decluttering parties. We have some that are starting at 8 a.m. Yep, okay. Tuesday, May 13th, 7 a.m. Okay, a couple of Tuesdays, 7 a.m. so you can look forward to. Okay, I love this. So, Garrett, good morning. Laura Gibbon-Vo says, not physically great, not feeling physically great, still exhausted for musical judging. Understandable. Sometimes when you exhaust your supply of energy, when you put your muscles or whatever, your brain muscles, your body muscles, through the workout, sometimes it takes longer than we want to recharge them. Kind of like when I rented an electric car in Palm Springs. It took me longer to recharge. It took longer to recharge it than I really wanted it to. But I'm going to be grateful for the rain. Yes, I love that you're grateful for the rain. I will say, we have had here in PA the most bloomingest of springs. There was a plethora of poppies that sprung up in one of our neighbors' yards that reminded me of years ago, decades ago at this point, which is crazy, when we first moved in here, that a woman who had a wonderful garden lived in that house. And some years the poppies bloom and other times they don't. So what is that thing? April showers bring May flowers. The May flowers, the rain. So yay. There we go. So Leslie, I love this. She's showing off the good stuff. She says, you bet. She says, you bet I am. And I moved to YouTube. Okay. And highly recommend the declutter parties. So yes, I do YouTube lives, which are substantially fewer people there. So sometimes we get into really good convos, stuff like that. And we've got 4 declutter parties. 4, count them 4, in the very merry month of May. Declutter parties are where we get together, a group. It can be 2 people, it can be 20 people, it can be 200. It's really like the Fabergé organic shampoo commercial. But the best thing about it is you have camaraderie and problem solving, and it's a reason to tackle some clutter that you've been kind of pivoting on, that you've been avoiding. You're like, hey, there's the clutter. Oh, look at over here. Let me do this. Right? Do you do that? Good morning, Penny Luckmeyers. Now, I have clutter that I've avoided. There we go. Okay, didn't think this time would work, but gonna try to be here. Okay, and that's all I think that's a great thing to do. I'm gonna try. I'm going to experiment. I'm going to see how it goes. And if it goes well, I may do more of it. And if it doesn't go well, I'll consider doing less of it. So sometimes you don't know until you try. So again, now that I'm looking at the phone, basically, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. Now, what does that mean? It means I help you with your clutter, but my approach to it also is, first of all, it's fun, I think. It's Gen X relatable, and other people. And I say Gen X because you're going to hear me say some random things, Charlie Brown, and you're also going to probably hear me sing some random songs. Do not worry. Much like Kevin Meaney once said, she's not going to sing the whole song, okay? But I like to help you because I know that clutter in your house can often be an indicator, like a clue. What is that? Like not a symptom, but a something, evidence of where you haven't figured something out yet. So I like to help you figure that out because I grew up cluttered and I had to do it the hard way. I figured it out all on my lonesome, and it took me, I'm so glad I did it. Do not get me wrong. But it took me a while to get it. Good morning, Judy. So I want to make it take far less time and effort for you to get decluttered and learn the life skill of decluttering. But also, and notice I call it a life skill, because it really is a life skill of, I need to do something, I want to do something, I get to do something, but I'm not doing it. Why? Why am I not doing what I say I want to do? Now, that kind of concept may crop up in many areas of your house, of your life. I like to deal with a lot of things through the clutter lens, because if you understand how to figure it out during decluttering, you can apply the same tool. You can use the same tool. It's like using the hammer. Well, a hammer's kind of heavy-handed. You can use the Phillips head screwdriver in your bedroom, in your kitchen, in your closet, in your attic. There's many places you can use the same toolkit. Okay? Now, I love this. Garrett says they're looking forward to planting the vegetable garden today because it's gorgeous in Kansas. Yeah, Kansas gets bonanzas from the rain or the grain. I can't remember. That's a Blossom Dearie song that I'm trying to quote. It's called Rhode Island is Famous for You. And yeah, so there. Add that to your musical. I'm going to Google that because I have no idea what she's talking about. Yeah, there you go. Your sonic screwdriver. Why not? Yeah, and honestly, one of the tools in your toolkit is encouragement. I'm emphasizing the encouragement because there's also the opposite, which is not so helpful, which is discouragement. You can be discouraged. You dis the courage. You don't have the courage to do something. And then you get encouraged. And it's like, I've got some courage. I've got more than enough. Here, have some of my courage so then you have some too. Yeah. Your way of encouraging and building our toolkits is remarkable. Thank you, Penny Myers. And I will just offer to you that really, I love that when you're doing that. I love when I offer something and somebody says, thank you, I'll try this out. I'll see if it works for me. That they don't refuse the gift out of hand. If they do, I don't take it personally. I don't take it personally. I really try hard to not take it personally. But get curious why you don't use the tools. Why you aren't decluttering. Because your answer to that question reveals something that if we flipped it onto the flip side, as I like to say, we might be able to change it. I mean, it just kind of, I don't want to say it's to reason or logic, but if you think about it, what is it? Like, I don't know if there's an opposite to a food or something. Okay, you've got unhealthy foods that make you feel crappy when you eat them. So if an unhealthy food makes you feel crappy, if we're working in kind of oppositeville, which was not a Sid and Marty Krofft production, but it should have been oppositeville, unhealthy foods make you feel crappy. Therefore, it's possible that a healthy food could make you feel better than crappy. So I like to think of when you are complaining about something, when you have a reason for not doing something, if you flip it onto the flip side, that same thing, there may be a clue in there as to how to increase the likelihood that you'll do it. You know? Now, this is great because we were just talking about May flowers may come your way. And the rain here, the rain in Spain falling mainly on the plain. The rain here in PA, the rain in Massachusetts. It's raining in Kansas, but also decluttering your garden. Now, one of the ways I like to talk is in metaphor. To talk about things in words we already know. Good morning, moi, and good morning, 616440. To use words you already know so you don't have to struggle. You don't have to take an extra step. I am so about efficiency, getting from point A to point B. I like to enjoy the journey. Do not get me wrong. I'm totally a road tripper in that respect. But also sometimes you just want to get to there, meaning understanding what the hell somebody's talking about. And for me, and I'm no dumb bunny, a smart cookie, a dumb bunny, whatever. I like to use words that already make sense to me so I don't have to use energy translating whatever somebody's saying just because they decide to use fancy words. Okay? So, decluttering your garden and yard. As Cat Mama says, been working in my yard too. More fun than inside the clutter, and you get to see the results. Now, Cat Mama, here's the funny thing, because you and I have been hanging out a bit since I've been doing these TikTok lives. Because the journey of decluttering can be very slow, one of the things that may be happening is that you may forget what it looked like when you started. You may forget how, quote, bad it was when you began because your brain tends to fill in and consider the current version the new normal. It tends to fade out what it was so bad in the back. Probably kind of like, and I haven't had children, but like fading out the pain of childbirth, right? So you may forget how awful it was when you started, and so you may not be seeing the drama of before and after that you may get in your outside garden when you weed and be like, oh, this looks so good. But even when you're weeding sometimes. So I highly recommend, here's a tool in the toolkit we haven't talked about a lot, but I highly encourage you to use. Take some before pictures. Pretend you're playing, this is what I like to say, take and like you're playing your own HGTV show. Take some before pictures so you can measure your progress. You can see your progress. You can compare what it looks like now to what it looked like when you started. And the neat thing is, maybe the first time you declutter, it's not going to be that dramatic. It will be different. But the neat thing is about pictures of a digital size, or maybe even, film camera, what have you. Pictures don't change, but the pictures in our mind are malleable. Our memories are malleable. You can change them. And I highly recommend, and I'll admit to you, I often forget this part of the process. Here's the crazy thing. You guys know, many of you who have tuned in before know that we have clutter currently all over our house right now, temporarily, because we are getting our basement floors redone. I remembered to take before photos, both with all the crap that was down there, and then once it was empty, but it still showed the awful tiles that were there that were peeling up and missing and all that. And I'm so glad I did, because already they have laid down the kind of encapsulating layer of concrete, and it looks different. And already, if I relied on the file in my brain as to what it looked like back then, it's kind of faded. When I look at the picture, the dramatic difference is a lot better. Like, wow. And that wow factor makes me feel better about the money we're investing in the project, frankly, the investment we're making. Now, you may not be paying yourself to declutter, but you are investing your time and energy in decluttering. And so why not have that wow, that ta-da, that, before and after moment? We aren't even at the destination of our basement, and already the incremental transformations are impressive. There we go. Yeah, Leslie says so true. And in another language we can talk about with clutter is weight loss. Now, I swear to God, I've been on a diet since I've been like 11 years old. So Leslie says so true with weight loss too. I've lost 12 pounds. Awesome. And lately feel I have nothing to wear, etc., etc. Well, isn't that interesting though? Because you're seeing the difference in how you fit on clothes. So Leslie, I will offer this to you because I think this would be kind of fun. Next time you're at the grocery store, go to the baking goods, the not baked goods aisle. Go to the baking ingredients aisle and pick up 12 1-pound bags of brown sugar. Now I say brown sugar because it's kind of, the bags are kind of floppy and stuff. And for the rest of the time that you are in the grocery store, carry around those 12 1-pound bags of brown sugar in your arms. Don't push it in the cart. Carry around that sugar and notice how heavy you feel when you're carrying that around with you. That could give you and then, put it in a cart, put it back. Don't leave it in the toilet paper aisle or something. But for a while there, notice that was the weight you were a number of weeks or months ago, and you are carrying that around on your body anyway. When you let go of it, you may be like, whoa, okay, I do feel lighter. Give it a shot. I often think of that when I say, okay, I'm losing I've lost they used to make a 5-pound bag of sugar. Maybe some people still do. But Domino now has those round containers that are plastic and it's only 4 pounds. So, or you could carry around 3 of those, a couple of gallons of milk, whatever it is. You will notice the difference when you let go of the 12 pounds all at once is dramatic. But when you do things slowly and incrementally, sometimes you don't get that ta-da moment. There we go. Laura Gimmon Voorhees is my goal is to lose a big bag of dog food. But you know how you're losing it? A kib. It's an official term. It's an official unit of measure. A kib at a time, a kibble at a time is how we lose things. Enough kibbles add up to a half a pound. Twice as many of those kibbles adds up to a pound. And you lather, rinse, repeat. So in aggregate, all together, we want to be from here to here, but we get there a kibble at a time, a step at a time, a mile at a time. And yeah, I too am cracking up at my invention of a kib. It's going to be like the smoot. Anybody? Maybe Boston Sports Girls knows what a smoot is. What is the Mass Ave Bridge, I believe, the Smoot Bridge between Boston and Cambridge, where MIT is. But yeah, we do incrementally. It doesn't feel like much until maybe you catch yourself in the mirror. Now, I will confide in you guys. Confide. Like, it's just you and me. It's not like the whole rest of the internet. I have lost a number of pounds since the winter. I'm wicked psyched about it. I really am. And yet, the way that the mirrors are positioned in my house, it's not, I don't really notice it. And I tend to wear yoga pants, so I don't get that dramatic, like, oh, my pants are so loose, you know, when they show the people with the jeans and stuff. But I went to a store the other day, and I used the bathroom, and they had a mirror, and I just caught a glimpse of myself, and I was like, oh, I can actually notice that. You know? I can actually notice that. So I offer to you, even though you may not notice the progress, even 20 minutes of decluttering is progress. Don't think it isn't and not start. Start incrementally and just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. Every time you're done, you could take a picture of one space. Have you seen that? Anybody? I mean, can you imagine? Like those guys who do the lawn mowing here on TikTok, where you see them and notice what they're doing. They do the before and afters of this is somebody's house that's all the weeds and the mud and all that. And then they show you how they're doing it, right? They're doing it, but they also notice what they do. They edit out hours of footage. They speed up the film, right? They don't show it to you in real time because that would take a long time. Yeah. So don't give up on the slow and steady. The every little bit helps. Oh, it doesn't say that on my mug, but I have a mug that says that. Because that's really the only way we get anywhere. When you go to get from here to the bathroom, you go and you stand up and you go one step at a time. And you don't, maybe you do funny walks and you try to get an extra long step, but oftentimes the step that you take, every little step I take, like Bobby Brown, is measured, is you can measure it by the width of your legs, your height. Taller people take wider steps, but it's still one step for them. One small step for mankind. Short people do have reason. And we take smaller steps, but it's the same concept. One step. Put one foot in front of the other. Do. Right? And soon you'll be walking across the floor. Put one foot in front of the other. And soon you'll be walking out the door. Da. That's all I know about the song. But it tracks. It tracks. So I mention this to you. I remind you of this. Duh. The only way we get anywhere is doing things a little bit at a time in a row. And those rows don't all have to happen in the same time. So use these things to reset your mindset, to calm down your backseat driver who says, we're making no progress. Are we there yet? Road trip analogy. You're driving. You're on your way. You're not in the driveway of your house. The backseat driver wants to be there ASAP. They don't get it. They are, what's that word? I want to say frustrated. Impatient. Impatient, opposite, patience. Have patience, grasshopper. Have patience, Yoda guy says. Have patience. We are not in the driveway. We are not at Disney World. But we are somewhere in between. We're not in Massachusetts. We are in Virginia. So we're not where we were, and we are making progress. We are closer. This is another thing I like to say. I am closer to my destination than I ever have been before. How does that sound? You may not be there yet, but I am closer to being done with my clutter, decluttering, at least the getting rid of, getting to yourself to like that weight that you feel good at, that amount of clutter that feels good. You started with this much, you're here, you're closer to this than you were, and if you just keep on showing up, you will get there. And when you learn the tools and you use the tools that got you there, and you just keep on using them, and you won't have to use them as much because, as Laura says, yesterday's putter and declutter mostly stuck, so today doesn't require as much. That's when you get on the maintenance road to maintain your decluttered home. Okay? Oh, that's cool. Cat Mama says, don't forget to tap the screen, everyone. It will send Beth to more people. Awesome. Cool. Thank you for that. So this is a lot of good advice, but the one thing before, I know this can all be good talk, but it may be, as they would say in my family, falling on deaf ears. It may be falling on deaf ears if your nervous system and what I like to call kind of your backseat driver voice in your head are like, yeah, but no. Like, no, because. Or you can't even listen because your nervous system is, they would say, dysregulated in the biz. But I like to say, you're all kind of zing, like, all up here, like a cat that got spooked. You're in kind of fight or flight because there's fear involved. Oh my God, what the hell was that? Could it be something that could hurt me? Many of us can be like that, but then we can stop. And as I like to say, check in with how you are physically and check in how you are energetically, nervous system-y. Are you all prickly and zing? Like, like a surprised, almost like, what are those things we were talking about? Hold on. Gardens. When you're almost like a dandelion, the big puff on the dandelion, like zing, it's out like this. But you don't want to feel like that because nothing truly is going to kill you when you declutter. You're going to feel feelings. You will feel some discomfort. It won't be easy all the time, but it will be easy a lot of the time. And the more you practice the tools of getting curious about stuff, having a conversation with yourself, keeping an eye on the prize, aka your destination, the easier it gets, so it's fewer stretches of discomfort. And even the discomfort on the road trip called decluttering is temporary. Everything in the world is temporary. Our time on this planet is temporary. Our time together this morning is temporary. We've got about 32 minutes left together. How are you going to use this time together? Okay? So think about that. You have, with me as your co-pilot, you have 32 minutes this morning. What's going to help you? Okay? Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Stacy. Thank you for giving me a donut, I think. And what I want to offer to you is this. I'm going to offer you a gift before you even start, which is check in with your body. How did you feel when you got up this morning? How do you feel physically right now? Because we're used to feeling physical. Oh, that hurts. I got a headache. I got a rumbly tumbly. My toe is infected. Whatever it is, you can feel the misalignment, the not feeling good, out of whack. Okay? Do something to help yourself feel physically better. And that can be as easy as taking a drink of water. But you know what can make you feel better physically, so do it. The other thing, though, is it's not just physical, but it's energetic, nervous system, and it's kind of mental. And I use mental in the word where I'm meaning kind of the stuff going on in your head. And I mean that's like what's going on in your head, the voices in your head. Who's talking to you this morning? Is it your backseat driver, fear, or is it me, your co-pilot, who is actually talking to your internal co-pilot, of which you have one? And talking instead of fear, the opposite is love. Instead of discouragement, it is encouragement. Instead of judgment, it's curiosity. Instead of no, I can't, it's yeah, I can. Instead of I don't know how, it's I bet I can figure this out. So you have these two voices in your head all the time. This is my basic premise. This is how I run my life. And as I've described this in my own life for years now, not my whole life, but for the past many years, it really has served me well. To be like, okay, hold on, who's speaking right now? Is that my backseat driver? And it's only two. They only get to choose from two people. It's not, I don't know, it's two areas of the car. If I'm the driver, where's the voice coming from? Is it my backseat driver, fear? Or is it my co-pilot, love? So ask yourself, who's speaking to you in your head today? Now, I call this your like invisible passengers. You may have visible passengers. You may have real life people in your life that fall into one of those two categories. Now, some people in our lives, we are society obligated to hang out with them. But whenever possible, I would say, frankly, honestly, distance yourself from the people who show up as backseat drivers and gravitate towards the people who sound more like a co-pilot. That will encourage you. That will make you feel better. And when you're hanging around with sad sack people, you're going to feel kind of sad sacky yourself. But when you're getting together with people who say, yes, how can we make this happen? I'm in. Let's do it. This is going to be fun. That can be a lot more fun and a lot more beneficial for you to hang around with people who are doing things, good stuff like that there. Like you're hanging around with me right now. I am your temporary co-pilot right now. And I say temporary because I'm only here. I only show up, an hour, 2 hours maybe? I show up a wicked lot. We've got videos to prove it. But then there are days. This Wednesday, aka tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, zoop. I will not be live on the internet because I will be traveling. And so you can practice this on your own. If you find it a little bit difficult and you forget the steps, there are literally, and I'm going to check it right now because I think it's kind of fun. Where is it? There are currently 688 Destination Decluttered videos on the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. Now, I say this to you because when I do not show up live, there are resources. If you forget what a co-pilot sounds like, of how you could be talking to yourself in your head, you can watch the videos. So, yeah. Leslie M. says, I'm a poster child for those videos. They're great. Leslie, I'd be interested in, maybe you can share it in the comments, like how you use those videos. Like, do you sit there and watch them? Do you put them on in the background? I like to think of them. So here's a fun thing I'll share with you. A while back, I thought it might be kind of fun to do a podcast. But there was something about it that just, I wasn't really running towards it. I was like, okay, yeah. And then what I realized was I love the live interplay between when somebody says, I'm struggling with this and I can help them right there. I prefer interaction versus me just talking into the void and hoping it hits somebody where they need the help. I would so much rather be like, hey, where do you hurt? Like you go to the doctor and they say, okay, what's bugging you? And then you tell the doctor, and there you can kind of create a solution to that problem. So that's the great thing about these decluttering YouTubes and TikToks wherever the hell I am right now. Okay, I love it. So Leslie says, I use them as decluttering parties. Started my closet on a live, but finished with videos as support. Cat Mama says she puts them on in the background. It helped me paint my cellar last fall and put them on to get me working. Ooh, that's a good idea because we got to paint our cellar. And I'm looking for inspiration for that because part of me is like, it's such a huge cellar. It's just overwhelming, right? And I know it's going to happen a foot at a time, you know? So there are resources there, okay? There are so many. The world is abundant with help for whatever you're struggling with. But one of the things you may be struggling with is asking for help. Yeah. So this is a really low-key thing. Nobody needs to know. If you're afraid of asking for help, if you're afraid of being judged, judgment over here on the fear and backseat driver size, you know. And that one persona says, while I do utilize the videos, I feel like I get more done on the lives. Something about the conversation and interplay. Yeah, well, you know what? I think there is, much like watching a recording of a concert versus live concert. There's that kind of alert electricity of nobody knows what's going to happen the next moment. Even if you watch a pre-recorded video and you weren't there, there is something different about a copy of something live. There is something wonderfully wonderful about something live music, live, watching somebody paint an artwork, live theater, something live, watching somebody make food in real life versus that one thing away, you know? So that's why also I published the calendar, the TV guide. Seriously, talk about a Gen X reference, the TV guide of when I will be live, so you can tune in to the live show, or when they are with a little R at the end, repeat on the YouTube. So when I'm not live, a repeat is better than nothing, but I like the lives myself. Now notice, user 616440 is so thankful for this judgment-free zone. So notice when I was saying earlier about somebody losing weight and not feeling the difference. Notice when you're carrying around 12 one-pound bags of brown sugar in the grocery store. When you drop them, when it's gone, when it's not in your arms anymore, is probably when you're going to feel the most, wow, that's dramatic difference. So notice when you do, honestly, notice when you feel like you're in a judgment-full zone in your own life. Where does judgment show up? Who is judging you? When are they judging you? Is it you judging you? Is it external people? Because notice the difference. I will share with you, we went out on Saturday night to watch the Kentucky Derby. We ended up at a place very, very kind of old school here in PA, but a social club attached to like a fire hall. It's a social club, and it's rarely open to the public. They opened up for Kentucky Derby, but because it's a social club that's not open to the public, people can still smoke in there. Now, oh my God, it was like stepping back into the 90s. I'm telling you, I hadn't been in a smoke-filled room in forever. It wasn't smoke-filled, it wasn't that bad, but God, you could smell it. After a while, you kind of got used to it, and you would occasionally notice it, but you were kind of steeped in it. But man, once you got into the free, once we left that night and opened up the door and outside, the outside air was positively restorative, you know? So notice, if you like the feeling, if you're noticing that you like the feeling of a judgment-free zone, how can you increase the space of a judgment-free zone in your own home, in your own head, in your own heart, in your own life? And this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Judgment involves words. I mean, sometimes it can be an eyebrow, a little side eye, a little without a word, but we're going to start with words, okay? Words in your head, coming from you. Where are you judging yourself? Where are you judging others? When you find yourself judging yourself or somebody else, wherever you do, whenever you find a judgy word, you know, stop yourself. Catch yourself. Ooh, wait a minute. Course correct. Wait a minute. That's not going to be helpful. I don't like living in a judgment-full zone. I prefer a judgment-free zone. So you stop what you were going to say. You catch yourself in the act of being judgy. I would highly recommend doing this. You don't have to solve all these problems in your head. The problems start here. I would highly recommend, just like math, write these things down. Okay? Write these things down. Fold your paper in half. You know I'm all about that. Fold a paper in half to create two columns, okay? On the one hand, write down your backseat driver, the judgy thing. What did they say, judgy? And then, so that's the math part of it. You write it down. You don't try to solve the math in your head. It's easier to do it when you can see it in front of you. Write it down. And then it goes from math class to Spanish class, or insert whatever foreign language you choose. And then translate it into a foreign language. You know what the foreign language is that we're working here? Opposite. The word of opposite. What are you judging? What's your judgy thing that you say to yourself? And what could you say to yourself that instead of being fearful and mean and judgy is love-filled and nice and kind and not judgy? Cut yourself some slack, people. Sometimes we can be, it's no surprise to me, I am my own worst enemy. Anybody talking about the 90s? Was that a 90s song or was that a 2000 song? I can't remember. I think it was a 2000s song. No, I think it was a 90s song. Whatevs. If you are your own worst enemy and you're kicking the little living beep out of yourself, stop it. God, stop it. Interrupt that person who's being mean to you. I may have let you talk mean to me before, but I'm stopping it. Now, some of us have some catchphrases. Remember, every little bit helps. Calm down, slow down, chunk down. Moi offers, I'm glad I started. I'm glad I started. I'm glad I started. I'm glad I started this journey of decluttering life coaching. Hey, me, Ellen, nice to see you. 1999. Okay, we were on the cusp. Thank you, Awesome Sauce. Love it. What are some things? This was a fun thing. I will offer this to you. I don't know if she's going to share it, but I have a one-on-one client who we are taking a small respite because of her travels and my travels, and we ended one coaching package, and we are beginning another one, but it won't be until June. So there's a few weeks between the next time we see each other. And so when I know that's going to happen, because I coach people for multiple packages in a row if they want to, and so at the end of every package, especially if there's going to be a gap of more than a week or 2 or 3, what I like to say is, okay, let's review kind of the basics and what are some things that you have learned here that will help you in that gap between when you don't have the live one-on-one coaching. And she's like, what would really help me is almost like a poster. And I was picturing like a poster board, like, 24 by 36 or whatever, and some colored markers, and writing down some of the phrases to remind yourself of what you learned in coaching. The things you can tell yourself. And basically her poster board was going to be things she could tell herself or do to decrease her feeling of overwhelm. What do you tell yourself? What are the words you use to calm down your feeling of overwhelm? Do you know what they are? Do you practice those? If not, I offer them all the time. So what are some things I say that make you feel less overwhelmed? Write them down. I do not gatekeep. No, I will not gatekeep this stuff. I show up free all the time to do this because I love what I do. And if I get a paying client out of it, I love it. But that's not the only reason I do this, because I know not everybody can do one-on-one coaching. Okay, so Idaho Princess says, chunk it down. Chunk it down. I love that. It falls under the category of all the downs: the slow down, quiet down, calm down, breathe down, shoulders down, write it down, chunk it down. Don't be overwhelmed by the whole thing. When you look at the whole thing, remember, a big thing is made up of a whole bunch of little things. The pyramids in Egypt, I always go to them, are made with one little box. Ooh, I love that. This is one of my faves, of course, because I invented them all. But that one persona is offering, can't hurt, might help. Yeah. Is it going to hurt? No. Might it help? Yeah. Okay, go for it. May it be a little bit uncomfortable? Maybe, but that's not hurting. That's not pain. And if I think it's going to be painful, why do I think it's going to be painful? But yeah. And I use can't hurt, might help a lot when I'm planting seeds. talk about gardening. And I want you to think of the garden of your life. What adventures, what fun stuff do you want to happen in your life? Sometimes you plant a seed and you don't know if it's germinating or not because it's underneath the ground. But it may be growing. It will never grow if you don't plant it, though. So sometimes when you plant a seed, it doesn't go spring, bing, up immediately. It may take a while. It may take a season. That's how I got to be invited to go stay and house sit in Palm Springs. I planted a seed last year. I didn't know if it was going to take or not, but I planted it. Where were we the other day? I think it was when we were out talking at the Kentucky Derby. Betty Appleseed, that's what we were calling me. So what are some things that you want to bloom in your life? Even if they may not happen for a while, plant the seed today. Plant the seed in your mind and plant it where it could inspire other people, can help you get there. I will tell you, that's what I call travel planning. I am currently planning multiple trips, and yesterday I booked a flight to Chicago. I was on a Zoom call with 2 friends. We're making plans to go to the Azores. I planted the seed in some friends' minds about joining us in Palm Springs. So notice what things you want to happen that may not happen for months or years, but plant that seed. Put those pennies in the bank and put them in a high-yield savings account, not a bank that's shaped like a pig, okay? So can't hurt, might help. It might work out, it might not, but it definitely won't work out if you don't plant the seed. The flower will not grow if there's no seed in the ground. You'll just have ground, okay? Now, this is a fun one. This is from back in the day. Oh, fun. Jen's in Chicago visiting her daughter. Awesome. Okay, there we go. Awesome Sauce says, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, planning a yard sale and putting it towards the debt. Yeah, when I'm debt-free, I can quit my job. Awesome. Notice you have a destination. Destination decluttered. You have a destination that ideally has kind of the involvement of your nervous system in a yes way, in a yes, I want to do this kind of way. And every little step you take is planning the yard sale and putting it towards the debt. So notice that. Tell other people you know, hey, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I am looking to pay down my debt. Do I have anything that I can do for you? Or how can I allow money to come into my life? I was going to say, how can I make money? Earn money is different, make money. But what else can I do to get money flowing towards me? Think about that. And ask your friends, do they have any ideas? You know, I love that you're starting. That's great. That's awesome. Having that destination. Now, here's a phrase I used to use quite a bit. Just drive your life. That was my coaching for a bit. Kind of when I was going to start to be an official, kind of get into coaching at the beginning of 2020. And then, well, we all know that COVID happened. But think about it. You get in your car every day. And unless you have a destination that you are heading towards, you either never leave the driveway or even get in your car at all. Or if you don't have a destination and you're driving, you're just kind of driving around in circles. But when you have a destination, okay, when you just drive your life, you can drive towards the life you want. The life of a stay-at-home mom, the life of a traveler, a flexible, scheduled traveler. You can point your car in that direction. You can step on the gas and get towards it. Now you step on the gas, that means you use the gas. That means you have to replenish it. But also notice that some things may cause you to veer off course. So I like to remind myself, what would I do if this was a road trip? Instead of thinking of whatever's going on as what it is, I put it under the guise of, how would I describe the situation in a road trip? Did I hit a dead end? Okay. If I was in my car, would I just sit there and be stuck? No, I would find a way to 3-point turn my way out and get away from that and say, okay, interesting. I thought that road was going to get me where I was going to go. I didn't see the sign that says this is a dead end. So next time I go driving down the road and I'm looking for my destination, I will be looking more closely for the signs, you know? So what are the signs? The signs are destination this way. That, you know, I'm closer than I was. It used to be 500 miles and now it's only 250 miles. Gas station up ahead. Good, because I'm running low on energy. Oh, sorry. I forgot to shut off my things. Yeah. Star Queen says, I will begin to think of it that way. So good. You could be a psychologist, Beth. Thank you. I could be. I will share with you. I have no freaking interest in that at all. I don't. I will share with you why. Not only do I have, my mother has her PhD in psychology. I love her, but she's a nut. So what I love about coaching versus being an official psychologist is I am able to bring my creative way of presenting things to people. If I were restricted to being a psychologist, I would have to play by their rules. This is the wonderful thing. And I take this very seriously because I know pretty much anybody who wants to call themselves a coach can call themselves a coach. I don't, though. I take it seriously, but I have fun. And to me, having fun and describing things in different ways is creative. This is honestly, honest to God, my Boston accent says, honest to God, this is part of my creative expression, is how can I describe the undescribable in a way that can resonate with somebody so they go, oh, I get it now. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't try to drive my car when it's on empty. Excuse me. Why am I trying to push my human body if I have no energy? But thank you, Star Queen. I do take that as a compliment. I have been told, honestly, by my one-on-one, more than one of my one-on-one clients, that they have gotten more help from their one-on-one coaching with me than they have from their own therapist. Now, I hope that all the therapists and psychologists out there do good jobs. This is how I do it. This is how I do it. See, they wouldn't be able to break out into song. They wouldn't have a Mr. Microphone. Hey, pretty lady, we'll be back to pick you up later. You guys, I don't know how long it's going to last, but it looks like, doesn't it feel like the sun is coming out? The sun. I love it. Okay, so thank you. What can you say to yourself that's going to make you feel better? And try the opposite. Just flip it, the flip side. Remember that episode of the Brady Bunch? Davy Jones, Marsha. Marsha gets to kiss him on the cheek, and then he says, how about the flip side? How about the flip side? Yeah. Yeah. And this is the main thing. There we go. That one persona is seeing the sun in Kentucky. Awesome. We were just talking about Kentucky. Oh, Kentucky Derby. Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. Leslie M. says this approach allows folks to see results almost right away. Yes, that's the great thing about clutter. Is it's visual. It's a visual medium so that you can see the difference immediately. You can see the difference. Sometimes in order to measure how you feel differently, it's kind of a little bit fuzzy, it's abstract, but you can take a picture of a space and then you can declutter it for 20 minutes and take another picture and the picture is different. I love that. Boom. And also the best part is, Leslie says, and feel empowered. Power. Yeah. You've got the power. Remember that song? You have the power. I don't give it to you. You don't lack it. It's just kind of dusty and you haven't been using it lately. But it exists in you. So let's dust it off and practice using it. You know? And I love it because Judy says, I've had those ahas with me a lot. Now I say the thing and inside you, your power is awakening to be, aha, I get it. Oh, okay, I can do this. I have the power. I don't have to keep on doing what I was doing. I can do something different, and not just random different, but I can do something different that I know is going to get me towards my destination decluttered, right? So you've helped me so much. Yay. Yay. I love that. Thank you. So this is how I do it. Now, this is how I do it. This is when I'm doing it today, but I show up and do a TikTok live and a YouTube live at different times of the day. I do it sometimes on some days, and some days the channel is turned off. Yeah, Krista L says, you are very motivating and not just in decluttering. Yay, thank you, because that's what I aspire to be. But the great thing is, it works on both levels. It's like watching the Bullwinkle, Rocky and Bullwinkle show, that you could watch it as a kid and enjoy it, but if you were an adult watching it, you could see references, you know? Yay, somebody just said I got 10,000 likes. That's awesome. Of course I got 10,000 likes, and it's now 7:55 a.m., and I have a hard stop at 8 a.m. But I offer this to you. There are resources out there to help you. If what you've been doing isn't working, let's do something else, okay? If you want to know, like Lulu is saying, I look forward to you always. Okay, you can increase the likelihood of knowing when I'm going to be live and tuning in on time by getting on the mailing list, Destination Decluttered, destinationdecluttered.com, signing up for the mailing list, and you get access to a hidden page on my website that has all the good stuff on it. It's got declutter parties. We've got 4 coming up, and here's the crazy thing. Monday, May 12th. Actually, tonight I'll share this with you because I'm looking at that page right now. 8 p.m. tonight is going to be a YouTube live, and then I'm going to be off the digital grid. I will not be showing up live, but you've got videos to keep you company, kind of like a babysitter, right? Monday, May 12th is when I return, unless something happens to my flight home on Sunday. But that being said, there's an 8 a.m. TikTok live, and it rolls right into a 9 a.m. declutter party. So take a look at your schedule for next Monday morning. And when I talk about times, I'm all East Coast time. That's my language. So if you're in a different time zone, just do the math. And that's the next time I'm going to be here. There are a whole many more things. I have things scheduled from now until basically the end of the month. TikTok lives, YouTube lives, and declutter parties between now and May 20th, almost every day. And then I'm off the digital grid, and then I turn back up. So I update that often. People on the decluttering mailing list, also, as a reminder, if you have written down when I said I'm going to be live, if you have printed it out, it is very rare that this happens, but occasionally I will need to change the time of something. I try to make you aware of it, but I change it on that page. So get in the habit of double checking the time. Okay? Yesterday, for example, I screwed up and I had my hair appointment at the wrong time, and so I didn't show up on TikTok at 11 because I was in the hair chair. I showed up at 10 because I could show up at 10. It happens very infrequently, but encourage yourself to get in the habit of checking the secret page so you know exactly when I'm going to show up. But now I'm going to sign off, okay? So if you're just meeting me now, if you've been hanging around for the past hour, as a reminder, my name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Here on TikTok, on the internet, destinationdecluttered.com. That's where you sign up for the mailing list. And Destination Decluttered on YouTube, where this video and 688 of them are there for you to peruse at your leisure. Okay? Okay, awesome. I copied and pasted the link to your schedule page on my daily to-do list. Thank you. See? Yeah, that's what we go. Judy, I will see you tonight. I look forward to seeing many of you on the decluttered, I keep wanting to say, wait, what's the word I'm looking for? YouTube tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. And it was nice to see you all, to meet some new folks. And remember, you've got the power. You can do this, okay? And if you don't feel like that, I can show you how. I will prove you wrong, okay? See you guys. Bye.